Yo, what is going on, Dim family? We are back with a video. I haven't posted in a while, so here we go. Today we're going to be making a cover for issue 2 of the comic series. This is issue 1 right here. It is out now. You can buy the printed copy. You can also read it for free online, although the printed copy comes with an exclusive card and an extra page giving you a little bit of more lore on the storyline. But anyway, besides that, issue 2, baby. Let's make a cover for this. My inspiration is going to be the Death Note cover, or maybe this cover right here, but we're going to play around with it and see where it takes us. I'm really trying to make this cover pop, and I'm trying to make this cover stand out a lot more than obviously this cover, which is very basic, although I still like that cover. So let's jump right into it. Let's go. Okay, let's start with the sketch of the cover. My main inspiration was the Death Note cover for this. I wanted to go with a Xildredite Kingdom background, just a logo there for the background, and that was going to kind of be underneath all the characters in front, similar to the Death Note logo with the cross in the background. So first I started with this main Crowholian archer. It's going to be pretty important to this storyline, so I'm going to add him there, and then I put the main antagonist orc on the left of him. So that is the sketch, and boom, now we are hopping into the line work. This was probably the harder part of the piece here. This is kind of just a line work sketch I was doing, and then I moved into the final line art and really struggled with this hand here. I think I had to do it like 8 times over. Yeah, this was very annoying to do, but turns out I got a hand that I liked right there, and we kept moving forward with the drawing this general here. I actually haven't even named this character yet, but he's going to be very important in this issue, so I'm just trying to draw him as best as I can. He is an archer general. Okay, so let's finish up these final details on the archer with the chainmail and those gold outlines on his armor plating. Let's add those arrows there, and then up here, keep note of this axe. This is going to be an iconic axe in Dim. Finishing up the tower there, and yep, this is the last touches that I got to make on the sketch. And boom, there is our line work for the issue 2 cover. I added the wall with the tower and then the army of Xildredite soldiers in front. That is going to be important as well, and I really wanted to showcase this on the cover. So let's get moving into the coloring and the final steps in our cover. I'm liking how this turned out. What do you guys think so far? Drop it in the comments what you guys think about this cover, and let's get into the coloring. Okay, so right off the bat, my main focus for the coloring is to go for a vintage 80s, 70s dark fantasy look on the coloring. I tried my best at this. I really want to progress with this in the future and get better at it, but I was trying to use high contrast colors as well as having the background contrast a lot from the characters. I don't know if I really did this fully successfully, but I was trying to have the colors pop where they were at. I used a random vintage manga cover reference for these colors and stuff. However, I was liking how these colors came out. A nice green for the orc skin, and then like a greenish gray for his armor plating, just to make that lore accurate, and then like a vibrant orange for the fire there. And then I went in and added some dark shading here with like a pencil type brush. I really like this brush, and I really like how it highlights well and shades well on the colors. Did that on the archer general there as well. Kind of rough, but still learning how to color well. Obviously not that I'm better at line work than I am coloring, but I am really liking how this turned out a lot. Drop in the comments what you think about the coloring and what I could potentially do better in the future. If there's any artists that you think you're very skilled, a lot better than me, feel free to give some advice, drop some feedback in the comments. I'd love to hear it because I'm always trying to progress. Here we are coloring the axe. Nice little gray there. Trying to add these details by adding some like moles and pimples and some scratches on the orc there, just to give some texture to his skin. Adding a little shine on the bowstring there, and then just kind of messing around with the colors for this Xildredite sort of emblem plate right here. I was messing with that for a while, but other than that, I was really liking how this turned out. Here's me shading the axe, adding some blood to the axe, and then kind of like blending that in to make it look like it's been there for a while. This is me shading that fire. I used a bunch of different textures and different brushes on that to get that fire in. And then right here I'm kind of adding like an army in the background Took a lot of drawing, and then I actually took some drawings from the comic and turned it into a brush so that I could place the soldiers here and there, just to give it that look like there's a massive army. So I was really happy how that turned out. Now here I am drawing and fully coloring in those soldiers that are rushing up to the castle. This was pretty fun, but I was pretty tired. I mean, this drawing took about 8 to 10 hours to complete, so I did take a break in between here, but this army was fun to draw. And then obviously when I got to the end of this, I added in all those little soldiers, the shadowed soldier brush there. Okay, so now we're kind of getting through the main part of the drawing. We're getting pretty much close to the end here. Just kind of throwing in these last colors, coloring the tower, coloring the ground in front of the tower, adding those cobblestone texture, adding those small details to the armies and stuff like that, and then adding in some fire and some smoke. I was gonna add Volkholg's face right there, but I decided not to. And then really the rest of this is just me playing around and see what design works best for me, for adding in the illustrators, the authors, the name, the issue number, stuff like that. Okay, and finally for the cover, I just went in and added some glow here for that final touch. And look how much this glow really changes the vibe of the cover here. It's absolutely awesome. I love how this changed the cover. Actually, my homie recommended that I add this change, and it really helped a lot. Really makes the cover pop a lot more and gives it that 3D real life look to the cover. I'm really happy how it turned out. Guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this cover. What kind of vibe does this cover give off, and are you guys excited to read this issue based on the cover? This issue is going to dive into Fairmard, which is a Crowholian village that is very important to the lore. I also really want to showcase my skills when it comes to mass warfare comic paneling. I've never attempted this before, but me and my artist partner Carlos Rojas, also known as @Ralcos_, go follow him on Instagram if you haven't yet. But we're going to be tackling a large warfare project on this issue. This issue could expand into issue 3. I don't know how long this will take, but there is a lot to cover in this issue. This issue is going to be giving us some of our main antagonists in the story and presenting to us sort of the major problems that are going on outside of Altrin and Fendrick's perception so far in the storyline. This issue is going to end with going back to Altrin and Fendrick within the ruins of Kokabra, so we will get some more storyline there. However, we are kind of jumping around the realm with this issue and exploring other things that are going on that are important to the story. So I'd love to see your feedback. If you haven't read issue 1, please go read issue 1 now. I'd love to get your feedback, see what you guys think, what you guys are liking, what you're not liking, and any questions you have about the world and the characters. If I can tell you guys, I'd be happy to explain things to you guys, because I'm passionate about this. This is my story, my passion, everything like that. And I am excited to share this with you guys moving forward. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys liked the cover.